format with Al, and of course, across the board, it's going to change. And the youth is no different than that. So, what we've done in the past, of course, we'd love to have our youth program 3 times as big as it is now, but it's worked out great, and we've been real successful with our mentoring of the kids and everything at the size we're at. Now, Bass has said, as we're looking in the future, and you guys will admit this, because if we look around the room right now, and this is really an ugly picture, not saying you guys are ugly, but look around the room, how many people in here are under the age of 40 years old? No lying. Bunch of liars.
Bob 1 year.
See, it's minimal. So guess what? We have nobody to do this 10 years down the road. We're getting old. I mean,
Speak for yourself.
I'm getting old. Hell, if I'm getting old, Butch is real old. But we're trying to look at it and say, okay, all us old farts, and it's every tournament you go to, if it's a Salmoids or whatever it is, you're standing there at the weigh-in, you look around, and it's like, okay, who's going to take our place? Well, part of the numbers falling off thing that we're looking at too is that we don't try to replace the old guys. Fishing just kind of goes away. And what's happened on the youth side, of course, there was Casting Kids and there was a youth program, and then slowly college came in play, and then to the pros. But they had to put college in play because they said, all right, we got these strong youth programs and we got the pros, but once the kids are done with the youth programs, we lose them all through the college years. And it's hard to regain them once you do that. So, college is booming right now. I mean, it is. It's all over. Colleges everywhere have fishing teams. Great to see. Scholarships. We're going to see it recognized by NCAA here before too long. Some states' high school athletic associations are recognizing the high school programs. And we want to get on board with that. So Bass has said our youth program is going to change totally. It's going to go strictly to a high school program now. So when we do that, of course, we're going to lose kids that aren't in high school. So at the state level, we all got together and we said we're not going to let that happen. We're still going to continue our younger age group as if it never changed. The only difference is these kids will not be traveling to the divisional level. We'll crown a state champion here, and that's as far as the younger kids can go, which is still great. And there's some downfall of that. People look at it and go, okay, we lost these kids going on to the Nationals. Look, when you go to the Nationals, and we've got some boys that's been there and some adults that's done it, when kids are real young, that's very intimidating to them. And if they go to the national level and don't do good, you see juniors cry on stage, you see them struggle, and all that. So we're almost at the age of 8, 9, 10 years old, we're putting those kids up front before they're ready. You know, because big expectations are put on them at that level. So if we do it at state level, still stay great. So now, high school program. The kids have to, and I need you guys' help because this is tough. It's hard for one man to be able to make contact with every high school in Ohio and say, let's start this program. Extremely hard. So I ask you guys, if you have schools in your area that you think might be interested, get with me and give me a name at that school so I can contact them, or kids or whatever. We only have to have 2 kids at each high school for them to qualify as a team. So it's not like they have to have 20 to, or like us, we have to have 6 to be an adult club. 2 kids at each school. So this is going to change quite a bit now. It went over, I met with the SS Minnows just last weekend. They love it. I mean, there's changes, and it kind of takes the club aspect out too when you think about it. Here's the SS Minnows. Now all of a sudden we're kind of saying we don't need you anymore because it's a high school team. But we still need that because that's what gets them to this point. The clubs do, not the high schools. That's where they learn this type of stuff. So, SS Minnows, how many did we end up with? Out of yours, we ended up with 10?
The high school members?
Yeah.
We have 9 of the high school members.
We have 9 of them, And we also have Sheridan High School just came on. We're going to be a little small this year if we don't get some help. Just because it's like anything else. You sit here and as Al goes through that, you look at it and go, oh man, another change. You know, this is a pain in the butt. I got a million questions. It's kind of the same thing on the youth side. So remember that you only need 2 kids per high school, and there's more kids that want and believe in fishing than you can imagine. We just got to give them that opportunity to do it. Now, does the high school have to recognize that club? Because you're thinking, all right, that's a pain in the butt for a high school. Just all of a sudden to come on board and go to them and say, we want you to sanction this and fund this and do all that. They don't have to do that. For the first year or 2, all we need is that high school to, and there's a form on the website, where they either accept that they're going to have a club or deny that they're going to have a club. If that high school says, I deny that I want to have a club, then just like any adults, I can pair 2 kids together. And we can call them, let's say, Pickaway County Junior Bassmasters or something like that. So we're not leaving anybody out in the cold just because their school doesn't want to do it. So my email's on the website. I stress to you guys, you got a good contact at a high school, please get me that so I can call and ask them, at least talk to someone to say, you know, heck, we're in January, so it's going to be really hard to go to school and say, well, you put this in play by April. So chances are the first year we're going to get a lot of denials. Then it's going to be up to the kids to really hit the high schools hard this summer and say, hey, will you help us put this together, or can we put it together?